The market is open.
All right, welcome to Sunday Night Features. Figure we might gap up just a little bit here. Looks like we will go what the strat would call two up on the week to start the week here because we have broken the high of last week already. As indicative here of this line, I always draw the high and low there from the previous week. So we have already broken that high here to start this session. Start this week, also new month coming up tomorrow. So we are already two up on the week. So let's go. I will be looking for, let's see if I can get this crosshair here. This is motive wave, so I'm still trying to get used to it. I really like it so far, but yeah, so I'm just trying to get used to it. Let's see, I do need crosshairs. I don't know how to find them. It's the only thing about using a new platform, right? You got to get used to you got to get used to everything. But I'm really liking it so far, so I don't have any issues with it as far as that goes. It's just trying to, learn some nuances of it for sure. So yeah, two up already to start the week here. Um, so yeah, let's go. We'll see if they start coming back inside a little bit, but because sometimes what they'll do, they'll gap, right? Trigger, come back, hit a liquidity pocket, and then go again. So not rushing in too heavy here. Want to wait and try to see how this plays out a little bit. If you go down to a smaller time frame, um, yeah, you can see we triggered, and then now we're coming back inside a little bit here. So outside bar actually here to start the session if you look at the hour, because it took out both sides of that previous candle there on the hourly. So yeah, so outside bar there on the hour actually to start this session. So I did try to do a little work here on my YouTube channel. So I got to figured out how to get a scrolling banner like most everybody else has. Um, but yeah, so I'm trading this account. That this is a funded account here with Lucid Trading, and I'm really liking them so far. Like I've I like their rules. And especially now with their flex plan, because they don't have a consistency once you're funded in that new flex plan. So I just bought a flex plan with them over the weekend. So I really like their rules. What can I say? Um, they have end of day drawdown, which I much prefer. And because I just as much as I love Apex and I know that you can, really scale with Apex, I I personally do better with an end of day drawdown. So, yeah, there's that. Am I'm by no means giving up on Apex. Like, I still love Apex for being able to trade multiple accounts, but for my style of trading, I prefer an end of day drawdown versus an intraday drawdown. Hey Mona, good to have you on stream. Give me just a second. I'm gonna turn off my dehumidifier. Yeah, so the dehumidifier seemed like it was picking up a little bit of background noise, so I wanted to turn that off. So yeah, outside hour here to start the session. Two up already on the week. I haven't checked the monthly chart, but it's fine that it's on the week. So, but I don't like trading outside candles, so I tend to let those play out. And then I will then I'll usually jump in. Because outside candles do just that, right? You'll get a big burst, and so I just prefer not to really trade outside candles. Yeah, I am working on an Apex 300K. Um Again, the end of day drawdown or the intraday drawdown, I've just found that I usually need to trade a little bit heavier. Well, not heavier, but um for my style of trading, I need a bigger drawdown is what I mean. So, uh I mean, it's taken me way too long to figure that out, but that's okay. So yeah, I just prefer if I'm gonna trade an intraday drawdown, I prefer to have a much larger drawdown available. Versus the end of day drawdown, I feel like I can usually get away with the 50Ks. But if it's gonna be an intraday drawdown, then then I need you know, a much bigger um drawdown available for intraday versus the end of day. Mona definitely did. So, I mean, it touched it. I do need to renew my trading view. Um, yeah, so you can see right here. So on NASDAQ, for sure, it went two up already on the week, right? Over 25,500. On ES, it actually, I don't think it did go two up yet, but more than likely it's going to. It looks like it's almost even so far. If you really scroll in, yeah, we needed to break 68.64, and it looks like we touched, well, it looks like we touched it. So, um, maybe not enough to call it two up just yet. Uh, Yeah, if I zoom in, so it looks like 68.64 and we hit 68.63. So technically not two up just yet, but very, very close. Very close. So technically it is still inside this week, but we're opening way above, even the midpoint of last week. So I'm I'm gonna set an alert, but I would feel pretty confident that we hit two up this week. There we can set an alert. So yeah, just right at it basically. So I did put a link for Lucid in the description of this video. So feel free to use that as well, and you can use my coupon code Blues Trades. It's the same at basically all of them: Bullinox, Lucid, and Apex. So all my code Blues Trades will work at all of those, and yeah, so you can use it to get you some accounts. Apex still has the 80% off sale, but that is ending tonight, so you would need to go ahead and jump on that. Um, Lucid, I don't know when their sale ends. I got one of the Flex accounts. I think I paid $78 for it, and that's just a one-time fee. Uh there's no activation fee with that. Here, let's go to their website. There's no activation fee with that. And then also, um, like I said, it is end of day drawdown versus intraday. So it is a tad bit different there. Yeah, so if you scroll down here, so you can go the pro, which is what I have one funded on right now, and then that's $112 one-time fee. That also has an end of day drawdown, profit target 3,000, max loss 2,000. This one still has a daily loss limit though, so keep that in mind. This one is the new one, the Flex. It's $78 one-time payment. Profit target 3,000, max loss 2,000 in a day. There's no daily loss limit on there. There's a 50% consistency on there. On the Lucid Pro, whenever you do get funded, that one has a 40% consistency fee, so or 40% consistency. The Lucid Flex does not have a consistency once you're funded, but it does have a consistency in eval. Actually, let me make sure of that. No consistency and funded. Correct. So I think, I mean, it depends on your trading style, but I think the new Flex is the way to go. $78 one time fee. I mean, you kind of can't beat that. So yeah, you use my code Blues Trades. That'll get you the $78 there. And yep, so that's Lucid. And then Apex, they are doing the 80% off. Oh, there's still 2 days left. So 80% off eval, any size eval, and they have a they have a special on the 100K. You can get that PA fee for $10 once you pass. Um, and then all the others are $40 once you pass. Yeah, this is just a little too choppy for me right now. I just don't like trading outside. I keep looking down because I'm not sure if my mic was on. Um, I don't like trading. I don't like trading outside candles. I really don't. They tend to be very choppy at first, so I just don't like trading them. Because outside candles create a broadening formation. So if you get stuck in that broadening formation, yeah, I just prefer not to trade outside candles. I didn't like trading inside candles for the longest until I figured out I could just trade the edges. And now I like trading inside candles because just that I can trade the edges. So you can get to the bottom of the edge, you go long. When you get to the top, you go short. So I really do like trading outside candles, but or I'm sorry, inside candles, but outside candles I do not like trading those. Yep, just slow go Sunday night futures here. Stuck in an outside candle on the hour. So right here I'll show you. So down then up. Um so I actually it looks like more of a two down green versus outside, but always close to going outside. There we go. There's that nice little burst. So there's a lot of balance right here in this area here at this 6860 all the way up to, yeah, just a lot of, I mean, look at all this liquidity here in this area. I want to take a loan, but I also kind of want to wait. Ugh, I tend to be more like, I just tend to be more cautious in a funded account for the most part until I'm not. I'd really like us to go two up here and break this high. Think they're just going to struggle here because there's, there's just a lot of balance here, and, and the market likes to go where there's liquidity. Um so we really need to try to break this through with some force. Mona, I always start on the weekly and then go down to the daily and the hourly. Like, I always look at the weekly first and then go down to the daily and the hour and the 4 hour. But this is the 1 hour chart here on the motive wave. I have just a 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart's really my favorite time frame, but I always do the analysis starting on the bigger time frames and then down to the lower ones. So like weekly here, close to going two up. Um I'll kind of make it more prominent over here, but yeah, so we need to break the 68-64 basically to go two up. We can do the broadening formation here. Kind of a tight broadening formation in a way. But there would be your broadening formation there on the weekly on ES. If you go down to the daily, again, close to going two up to start this session, but we really need to break that 68-64. And then I would look for the liquidity there at 68.73 would be my target. Because you always want to look where a good volume has taken place, a lot of liquidity. I mean, if you look all the way back to the 3rd of November, you can see all this liquidity here, right? Like even the 31st of October, the 30th of October, there's a little more there on the 29th. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, almost 9 days of hitting this liquidity here on ES. So this is a big level for us to get through here, the 68-64. And it looks like, we're close to puncturing it here. But yeah, this is a big area for us to get through. And you got this mother bar range here from 68.93 down to 67.46. Gosh, that was a big day there. Must have been some sort of economic news there on the 13th. That led to that big 200, 300, well, 200 points there, looks like. There on ES on the 13th there that took place. I'm assuming it was some sort of economic news, being that it was a Thursday. But you're yeah, we're in this range here from the 13th. So um hopefully this week we'll go up here and hit 68.94. I mean, we're really not far from all-time highs. I mean, 69.54 would, break and hit a new all-time high there on ES. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask them, and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. A little bit of a pullback there on the 5 minute if you go down to a 5 minute. So this does look like it is pulling back here outside, or well, two up so far there on the 5 minute. We are about to probably hit an outside candle here if we break 68.60. That would put us an outside candle. Just have to see if they do decide to keep selling here on the 5 minute. This indicate this these lines here are is an indicator that I had created. Let's see if I can zoom out enough. I don't know why in the world it's not showing all the way across. There we go. Probably need to get that recoded there. But I mean, I know what the lines mean, but it'd be nice to be able to see the actual number across over. But anyway, make a long story short, uh, these lines, it is a mathematical calculation based upon the open price. And so the indicator automatically calculates for you these levels. It does work on ES and it works best on ES and gold. It does work on NQ as well, but it does tend to work the best there on ES and gold. Those pretty much line up with the indicator, with the formula. Uh, I've got to work on the calculation. Well, the calculation is right, but the indicator is not calculating NQ properly. So if you do use it on NQ, I would use it cautiously there with NQ, and it'll still work, but I just wouldn't you know, I wouldn't go too heavy with on NQ with it until it gets recoded. So yeah, so this uh this 5 minute did hit an outside candle. And that's indicative of it came up, and now we're once it goes past 50% of the previous candle, you can pretty much determine that it's going to be an outside candle where it takes out both sides of the previous candle. So now we get a two down there on that next 5 minute candle. Because once you get an outside candle like that, you're either going to get back inside or you're going to get, a two down. I mean, because this outside candle here on the 5 minute created a broadening formation. And yeah, I mean it's bearish. Which is why I was very hesitant to hop in on open, because I wanted that to play out a little bit there and see if we could get a pullback, um, from that. So the hour has turned outside. Well, actually, it was outside, but this is why I don't trade outside candles, because I don't know if they're going to change direction, and that's just time in the seat, right? Because we're hitting this liquidity, we could also reverse here. Um, so I don't know. I'll have to wait, have to wait and see. But I've seen that happen too, which again is why I don't care to trade outside candles. I like to let them play out. See, we hit that liquidity there, and now we're bouncing a little bit. I, yeah, just time in the seat. This is just time in the seat is all that is. I've seen it happen a lot. Outside candles can get you some evals passed, but definitely don't care to trade them on a funded account because you're going to get these bounces like this. And yeah, if you walk away, like, there goes your account, especially if you're too heavy. And so, yeah, I just don't care to trade outside candles. Outside candles are also called engulfing candles, by the way. If you are going to trade them, I would look at a smaller time frame for an entry. I mean, the larger one will still guide you, but you can see your entry much clearer on a smaller time frame. So like this 5 minute here, that's why I was like, when we pushed up and then we started coming back through, more than 50% of that previous candle, I was like, ooh, this might turn into an outside candle. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, I could have, taken that short there on the funded account, but again, I just don't like trading outside candles on a especially on an account that matters. So once I saw that we were outside, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna let this I'm gonna let this play out. Outside candles also expand, right? Um, so again, yeah, just I just tend to let those play out before I do anything about them. I think Bullinox is having an 81% off sale. Let's see what a 50K is going to cost. So if you go with option 1 on the 50K, it's $26.25 for an account. So if you want a Bullinox 50K, you can get one for $26. Now, they do have a $140 activation fee, so keep that in mind. But yeah, you can grab a Bull and Ox 50K. You can use my code Blues Trades, and that'll get you one for $26.25. So outside, so three, two down, two down. They're on the 5 minute. They're on a yes. Oh, 15 of you watching me tonight. I appreciate that. Please like, subscribe, and yeah, like and subscribe, as they say. Turn on your notification bell. Um, but the best way to support my channel, guys, is to use my uh, affiliate coupon code with Bullinox, Apex, and Lucid Trading, and that'll get you whatever sale they're having at the time, and it'll help support my channel. So my affiliate code is Blues Trades. For transparency, yes, if you use my affiliate code, I do receive a small commission. That's why people have affiliate codes. Think we make a whopping like $5 or something if you use the affiliate code. It does help. It really does. It allows me to not have to work on Sundays and be able to stream. Um so yeah, it does help. It really does. So we always, all affiliates will appreciate you using their code. No matter which one you use, I promise they will. Well, I don't know about the guys that make, hundreds of thousands a month from affiliates, but for smaller affiliates, we really appreciate it. I'd much rather stream on Sunday than be at work anyway. This is much more fun, I think. If you're new to my channel, I do trade a system called the Strat. It was created by Rob Smith. He was a floor trader in Chicago with the CME, and he created it. Kind of stayed, I'm gonna say, like, small until like he kept it for about 10 years, right? I mean he would put it out there, but it didn't really like take off until about maybe 15, well, at least in the last 5 years it's taken off. He passed away a couple years ago, and but he left a great system behind, and it's the only thing that made sense to me, because I don't like indicators. Uh I had this one special one made, but that's just based upon math and in the market. So I use it, obviously. It will calculate at open, but other than that, like, it does not repaint, it doesn't recalculate throughout the entire 23-hour session. It only calculates upon open. So you can, use those levels all the way from open to close. And yeah, I can't tell you how to use them, but that's up to you. Everybody sees the market differently. I can't tell you when to be bullish or bearish, but I absolutely use this indicator. And it is free. So if you message me, I will you'll just need to provide your your trading view username, and I'll give you access, but it is free. It is a free indicator to use. So yeah, so no active trades for me on the funded accounts at the moment. Do I am in a trade on an Apex eval on that 300K, but no active trades on a funded account just yet. Just trying to, let the market open here, get situated, and then, you know, I'll hop in a trade whenever I see fit. But at the moment, I'm hands off on the funded account. Trust me, I've blown my fair share of funded accounts. Definitely don't want to do it on stream. I hate that Project X is going away though for other firms other than Top Step. Like, I just don't like that. um I like that platform because it's very, very similar to TradingView, and I love TradingView. So, but yeah, I with Lucid, I just decided to do the Motive Wave because I have a Mac, and they were providing the full license for Motive Wave, and I knew that Motive Wave worked on a Mac, so I wanted to give Motive Wave a shot. So I'm glad I did. So there's Rocket Scooter Matt has the statistics, but he says that most of the time if you open in positive territory, you'll close in positive territory. So we opened positive, now we're negative. But I'd be curious to see how the entire session plays out, and see if we end up positive tomorrow. So, we could continue to get this sell off here, but they could also bounce the market here. But yeah, we did open positive. Now we're negative, and yeah, so it'd be interesting to see how the entire session plays out. If anyone has any questions, definitely feel free to ask them in chat. I'll do my very best to answer those for you. I did have somebody message me the other day and said they, really enjoyed my stream because I wasn't all hyped up like, all the guys get. Like, it was more soothing. So I appreciated that. I probably could use a little more hype, I guess, but I appreciated that person saying that, and made me feel good. So I'm wondering if we're gonna bounce at this level. I mean, this hour is really taking a turn from the start of the session until now. That's something else I'm working on is, working on being more patient and, truly waiting on a setup versus just like jumping in, right? Um, the market's open 23 hours. I can wait. We are getting a bounce at this level here on the smaller time frame. Um, so two down green here on the 5 minute. I've never really traded a 5 minute, but I think for some reason I was looking at it and think I may leave it. I think I like it next to the hour. Um, oh, the other thing I learned is if you open within 10 points uh of the preview, you are considered it's basically considered flat. It's considered like a flat open. Um so yeah, but it'll be interesting to see if we do end up, by the end of the session tomorrow, if we end up in positive territory versus the negative territory. And what I mean by that is we started the session off what plus so many points, and now we're in negative territory. So now we are technically negative, but at the same time, if you look at professionals, they're going to call this a flat open. So they're not going to get involved in this, right? Because there's no edge for this. They want to wait until they get to these outside edges here in order to really make a play. This would just be basically considered chop. Uh, and like I said, we had an outside candle, so I didn't feel comfortable getting involved just then. And I wanted to wait. So again, time in the seat, experience, watching this stuff play out multiple times. You kind of get, I don't know, like I think you just get to a more of a maturity level, I guess, and realize you don't have to be involved and wait for your edge to to kind of play out before really getting involved. And that, trust me, this is something I've had to work on a lot. This is not come easy for me. Being patient. um but I tell you what, uh prayer is an interesting thing because if you ask God for patience or whatever it is, he's going to give it to you. It may not be the way you want to learn that lesson, but you're going to get what you ask for. So I guess that old saying, be careful what you ask for cuz you just might get it. Well, that's very true. That is very true. At least I've found it to be true. And I'm sure, those sayings and adages and stuff, those just don't don't right, like those are there for a reason. You're probably not the only person to experience that. So welcome to Sunday Night Futures, where you get futures trading and some life advice. On that note, I don't want to sit here and stream through chop. um so I'm probably gonna call it a little bit early. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, feel free to use my affiliate code, Blues Trades. That'll work at Apex. That'll get you 80% off right now. Bullinox has, I think, 81% off, maybe 85. I don't know. It was $26 for an account there. And then Lucid Trading, you can get a 50K flex, which is the one I would recommend. That you can get that account for $78. So hope everyone has a fantastic night. I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in, and trade safely. Try to stay green, and I will catch you guys sometime. I am gonna do a stream tomorrow night, so watch out for that. We'll be on Monday night, and I'll do a stream there on Monday night. I may stream New York, but I don't know. I'm just not really well, I'm not a morning person, so I prefer to trade at night. I tend to do better in Asia and London session. And can I trade New York? Sure. Do I like to? Not really. Uh, so I would just prefer not to do a stream during New York. But I probably will hop on Monday night and do a stream as well. So feel free to tune in for that. Again, please like, subscribe to my channel, and then also use my affiliate code Blues Trades there with Apex, Bull and Ox, and Lucid Trading. All right. Hope you guys take care. I will catch you later. Thanks so much.